Hello everyone, I'm Matt Evans and welcome to Board Game Replay. If this is your first time joining us, Board Game Replay is a series where we try to capture the experience of playing a board game. We're going to be sitting down for a post-game discussion, we're going to be talking about various elements of the game, and then we're actually going to be cutting back to replays of moments that we found fun or exciting. So now today we're going to be playing Lords of Vegas, designed by James Ernest and Mike Selinker. And Lords of Vegas is an area control, area influence style game with a lot of dice rolling and some trading and negotiation mixed in there as well. And this game is for 2 to 4 players, but today, if you probably noticed, there's another box here at the end, which means we're going to be including the Up expansion. Now this brings the game up to 6 players as well as adds a new mechanism to the game, but we're still only going to be playing with 4. And I'm going to get to kind of what the Up expansion adds to the game in just a little bit. And speaking of that, for those of you who aren't familiar with the rules of this game, I'm going to be getting to a brief rules overview in just a little bit. But I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time because for those of you who already know the game, you may know the base game, but you may not know how the Up expansion works. So if you already know the rules to this game, the base game of Lords of Vegas, you can click up here, and that's going to take you straight to the explanation of what Up adds. Or if you just click up here, it's going to skip right to the main part of the video. Now, as usual, all of this information is also going to be available in the index, and you can just skip to wherever you like in the video there. Alright, so in Lords of Vegas, each player is going to take on the role of a Las Vegas developer / casino boss. And you're basically going to be trying to build the biggest and most successful casinos on Las Vegas Strip. So this board here represents the Las Vegas Strip. And you've got all these square spaces here with a letter and a number assigned to them. Those are basically vacant lots in Las Vegas. Those are just waiting to be built. And you can see here, these little tokens here represent players owning a specific lot. So here the purple player has a token on B3, which means that player owns that lot, and on their turn, they can potentially build a casino there if they like. And if they do that, they basically choose a casino tile. These little 5 tiles here of these different colors, those represent the different kinds of casinos that you can build. And I'll explain the color relevance in just a little bit. But there's basically a certain amount of each type of color. You can choose whatever one you want to build from if it's available in the supply, and you can put it on that space. Now the way this game works is at the beginning of each player's turn, we're going to be drawing a card from the top of this deck. Now this deck is comprised of a card type for each of the 5 different casinos in here. There's 9 of each card actually. And basically they represent these 5 different color casino types. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to have casinos built that match these cards that are being drawn. Because even if it's not your turn, when that card is drawn and it's got purple on it, if you own a purple casino, you're going to get points for having a purple casino. So you're always trying to build casinos that are going to match the cards that are being drawn from the deck. And that's why we have this discard pile over here. See how you kind of stagger the discard pile here. And basically that shows you how many times these different colors have come up. So right now purple and brown have only come up in the deck twice, but silver has been drawn 4 times. So if I were to build a new casino right now, I probably wouldn't build it silver. I'd probably build it purple or brown because my odds of having those payout points are higher. Now that's the most basic concept of the game. You're trying to build and control casinos that have colors that are matching the ones that are coming out of these deck draws here. But there's actually a little bit more to it than that. I'm going to walk through basically a sample draw and I'll show you what would happen. So let's pretend I just drew this E4 card, this silver card here. The first thing I would do if I was a blue player, I would first take the E4 space and put one of my blue tokens on it, which I've already done here. And that's basically the way you get lots in this game. Now the blue player, I own that lot because it was on this card I drew during my turn. The next thing that happens is we pay lots. So now every player gets paid $1 million for every lot that they have on the board. So right now as a blue player, I have 2 lots available, so I would take $2 million from the bank. And the purple player also has 2, so they would take $2 million from the bank. And next we're going to pay out casino types. So any player on the board that has one of their dice in a silver casino is going to pay out the pip value on that die. So I'm the blue player, so I have 3 here and a 2 here in these silver casinos, so I'm going to get a total of $5 million. And the purple player has a 6 and a 4, so they're going to get $10 million. There. Now lastly, we're going to pay out victory points. And victory points only go to players in silver casinos who are the boss of those casinos. Now being a boss in a casino means you have the highest die value that's currently represented in that casino. So to make this really easy, this casino up here, I'm the only one that has anything in that casino. I have 1 single die, so I get 1 victory point from that as the blue player. So I'd slide it up here. Then if I go down here and look at this, since these casinos were built next to one another, they're all basically counted as one big casino. So any contiguous blocks of the same color, they count as 1 casino. And purple, if you look here, purple has a 6 and I only have a 3. So purple is the boss of this casino, which means I still score my money for my little casino here in the middle, but I don't get any victory points for that. Purple actually gets all 3 victory points for having a 3-piece casino. So purple would jump up to 3. So So now I've already walked you through the beginning of what basically a turn of this game is, but now I'm going to walk you through the different actions you can take when it is your turn to kind of explain how to do stuff in the game. The first action you have is to build. Building I kind of already explained. Basically, if I have a lot on the board somewhere that I control, I can build the casino by paying the dollar amount printed on the board. So this space down here says 12 million. I can pay 12 million to the bank and I can put a casino tile there, and now that will be mine. Let's say, or I'll just do that as an example here. I'll pay 12 million to build this spot here. And I will probably want to build another gold one here because it makes my space a 4 contiguous block here. And then on the space there's a die value. And that's the die value that it starts with. So basically I would take a 4, because that's what's printed on the space, put it inside that casino. And now I finished building that casino. Now I can do that as many times as I want, as much as I can afford it. I can keep building casinos. So that's the build action. The next action is sprawl. To sprawl in this game, it basically means you can expand your casino to an adjacent space even if you don't own the lot. But you have to pay double the cost that's printed on that space. So if I wanted to move my casino up here, you also have to be the boss. I'm the boss of this casino here. If I want to roll up here to E1, I can do that if I pay 18 million, because this space costs 9 million to build on normally, but I have to double it because I'm sprawling. The dangerous part about sprawling is, even if I were to build a new casino there and move my guy up there, if somebody ever draws the E1 card from the deck, they basically just get to plop their die right on top of mine, and I just get kicked right out. You know, now I may still be the boss of that casino because I have the highest die value, but the threat is always there of somebody basically taking a spot in your casino. So the next action I want to talk about is remodel. Now remodel basically allows you to just swap the color of all your casino tiles to another tile. Again, you have to be the boss in order to be able to do this, but as I mentioned earlier, once you see this track filling up and you see the majority of the silver cards have been drawn, but you own a large silver casino, you want to switch those silver ones out. You don't want to keep using silver. You want to switch back to a color that's going to be drawn again. So you can pay $5 million per tile. You have to switch them all, but basically you can swap to any other color that you like. Now the next action is one of the most exciting actions in the game, and it's called Reorganize. The way Reorganize works is basically if you have at least one die in any casino, regardless of the size, you can have all of the dice re-rolled and potentially change ownership and definitely change some of the numbers and payout value for money. But basically you have to pay the pip value of every die in that space. So if I wanted to re-roll all the dice in there, I wanted to reorganize this block of casinos here, I'd have to pay 6, 3, and 4, so I'd have to pay 13 million to do that. So let's just assume I'm going to do that. I'm going to pay 13 million to the bank here. I'm going to take all of these dice and I'm going to re-roll them to hopefully become the leader. Obviously my chances aren't great. Wow, that was an interesting re-roll. Alright, so I've rolled a 2 for my casino here that I had, and then 2 1s. And that makes me the boss of this casino, which is great. So now I have the highest die value in there, so I own the casino. Now these 2 dice are tied, the low, the 2 1s, but that doesn't actually affect anything because the only dice ties you have to worry about are the highest values. If there's ever a tie for the highest value, they just get immediately re-rolled for free. So I've re-rolled these dice. I now have a really small payout for this casino. I still get all the points though, which is awesome. But on a future turn, I had to pay 13 million to re-roll those dice. The purple player here could re-roll those dice again for only 4 million. So the chances of those staying the way they are, not great. But basically that's the essence of Reorganize. It allows you to completely change your fate in the game, steal a casino block away from somebody, knock their money down, make their payout smaller, all kinds of crazy stuff, and it's a ton of fun. Another important thing to note about Reorganize is that you can actually only do it once per die per turn. So I can't re-roll any of these dice anymore as a Reorganize. That casino is basically done for me reorganizing. But if I had other ones on the board that I wanted to reorganize, I could still do that. Now the last action is gambling. The way gambling works is exactly what it sounds like. I pick another player, so I pick purple here because he's the boss of this little 2-part casino, and now I can wager up to $5 million per casino tile in that casino. So 5, 10. I can bet up to $10 million here. I don't have $10 million, I only have 6. So let's say I'll wager 5 at that purple casino at this one right here. So alright, I'm going to then take 2d6, I'm going to roll it, and then I've got a payout chart here that shows, and it's up here as well, but basically if I roll a 5, 6, 7, or 8 on a 2d6, I lose, and the house takes my money. So I rolled a 6 in this case, so it's going to go to the red player, they're going to take my money. Now you probably noticed that the 5, 6, 7, and 8 are the most common things to roll on a 2d6, so the house always has an advantage. Come on, it's Vegas. But that's basically gambling. One important thing to keep in mind about gambling, it's the only truly limited action in the game. You can only do it once per turn. Now that I've mentioned that, actually, I want to say, I've kind of done these actions in the order of the little turn description card here, the little summary, but you can actually take these in any order and mix and match them. So if you want to gamble first to get the bankroll that you need to take your turn, you are totally welcome to do that. But if you lose gambling, like I said before, you can only do it once per turn, so you're completely done. Just some things to keep in mind. And now there's two last things I want to cover about the base game. First of all, I didn't talk about this type of card here. There's a card called the strip card, and let's see if I can show you one as an example here. Oh, here they are. Yes, there's cards that can be drawn in your turn. They have a lot on them as normal, but they say pay the strip. And basically what this means is every casino that's at least touching this strip is going to be paid out as if their color was drawn. So that's kind of a cool one to happen. You're kind of wanting to build closer to this strip so you can get these extra payouts. There's only 3 of these in the deck, so they're kind of rare. I haven't talked about how the game actually ends, though. In addition to all of those cards in the deck, there is a game over card that is tucked into the bottom 25 or 20% or so of the deck. So at the beginning of the game, you're going to stick this card in here, and so you never quite know, you just eyeball it. You never quite know when it's going to come out. When that card comes out, it acts as another pay the strip card. Everybody pays out all the points for their last bit of casinos, and then the game is over right then. So you never quite know when the game is going to end, and actually, you actually don't know what cards in this deck here. You've got them all laid out, knowing how many of each color type have coming up, but you don't know how many of those are underneath that game over card that you're just not going to see in this game. And it just creates this great uncertainty in the game, and you're always kind of biting your nails waiting for that game over card to come up, wondering if you're going to see your casino hit one more time before that. That pretty much covers it for the base game rules. I'm going to quickly go over what the up expansion adds to the game. Don't worry, it's not very complicated. It's pretty straightforward. First of all, it adds, I told you, 2 new players to the game, so you can play up to 5 or 6 players now. In addition, it adds these new tiles over here, which you're going to be able to use to put risers underneath your existing casinos and build them up. What that means is it allows you to get more points for casinos by bringing them up rather than expanding out. The way you do that is if you were the boss of a casino, you can take the raise action. So my casino up here, I'm the boss of this single silver casino, which is really wimpy and only worth 1 point. I can spend 15 million per riser tile. Let's say I just spend 15 million at first here, and I can build this up. I can do this as many times as I can afford to for this tile. And now I built this up, and that's worth 2 points. And if I put a third one there, it would be worth 3 points. It basically allows you to get through these breaks that much easier with these small casinos instead of expanding out. It kind of just adds a little bit of a new dynamic to the game. As with the remodel action, though, you have to do it to all the tiles in that casino. So this purple player here, if they wanted to bring this up at all, they'd have to do it to all the tiles in this casino. So they have to spend 30 million to bring it up once. And you can keep doing this. Depending on the number of players in the game, you can have a single casino at a height equal to the number of players. So right now this casino is at a height of 2. If I was playing in a 5-player game, it could be up at a height of 5, and it's worth 5 points per score. The only quick other rules changes are if you want to sprawl to a space that's, if you have a built-up casino and you sprawl, so let's say I've built this up and I want to sprawl here, I can do that. I just have to pay the cost outright to have a riser on it when I get there. So if it would cost me 30 million to sprawl to this space, I got to spend an extra 15 to put that riser tile in before I do that. And the same rules apply for adjacency. So basically, let's say I have a casino here, and I am the blue player, and it's up 1 higher than the green player. Let's say my die is in here. These are different heights. Even though they're the same color, they're different heights. They're treated as if they're completely separate casinos. So yeah, I think that covers the up expansion. There's not a whole lot to it. It's a pretty straightforward expansion and adds an interesting dynamic to the game. I think I've explained all the rules here that hopefully you can understand. It should give you the context for what we're doing in our discussion here today. Now, if you have any questions at all about anything I've explained here, if there's anything that was kind of confusing, please don't hesitate. Contact me in the comments below or shoot me an email, whatever works for you, and I'd love to help you out. I think aside from that, we're ready to play this game. We'll see you in just a bit.
Wow!
We didn't re-rehearse that reaction from the end of the video at all.
That was only my second time doing it.
Yeah, that was good. That was awesome. That came out, that was really close. I think every time we have the huge spread in points in this game, we think it's going to be a huge upset, but that was...
Blowout.
I mean, that is a lot of points, but still, that was close. Done?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Game over.
Didn't mean anything.
You could have let me win one.
Alright, so
We gotta pay the strip first.
Oh, it does hit me though. That's awesome.
So we'll do the strip. So Isaac gets
we don't need to worry about money unless it's a tie.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Nice.
That was a huge jump though.
Oh, Jeremy, I wanted one more turn so badly.
All right.
I was gonna gamble hard.
Alright, we count everyone else first. Who else is on the strip? Matt, you get 3.
I get 3 from that. Doesn't do
Four
anything.
doesn't do anything.
6 for. 6 for this.
So 1, 2, 3, 4,
And
5,
then
6.
6 for this.
That's not on the strip.
Oh, I knew
Not on the
that. I knew that. Yep.
So I got 4. 4 doesn't do anything, but then I got 5.
He's 5. Oh man, that was so ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, right before that, we were all grouped like right here.
Yep.
All three of us. Well, I mean, except for me. There always seems to be one straggler, but
Yeah, but sometimes your fate can totally change.
Right, there's no way you can like choose that. Isaac owned this thing for like 6 turns. It didn't land.
It didn't land, yeah.
I gotta do the obligatory. I would have won if, but I wanted one more turn so badly. I couldn't guarantee it, but that was just so fun about this. Is I could have, on my turn, I probably would have had maybe 30, maybe 40 million. I was gonna build these 2 up. I need 30 to build them up one more time, and then I was gonna spend 10 to switch it over to orange, and then at least take away your 4. All I was really trying to do was slow you down a little bit, but that would have given me a lot of points. Obviously, I didn't have the cash to do it. I would have had to make an amazing roll last turn, but
I would have totally run if I didn't spend the last half of the game re-rolling. I would have totally won if I hadn't spent the last half of the game re-rolling this every turn.
I'm not going to even use the take right there. I'm just going to keep it all in, just so we can see you swearing.
That's something Chris would do.
I think that does have its place. Unfortunately for me, I do pigeonhole myself into being very competitive against Michelle.
Wait, I'm sorry.
I am.
You can't even say it again.
No, I can't. I already said it.
I said it once.
I like being competitive against Michelle. It's just how I like to play games. It's how it is.
I hate it.
But there is some.
Yeah. I wonder who's gonna gamble against.
I only have $4. I'm not lying. I only have $4.
He's like,
All down, Michelle.
no, that's weird.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, goes to Michelle.
I told you not to do that.
I told you not to do that. I told you to win, Isaac. Why don't you give me half of that,
You're
and then
like
I won't,
so in the lead right
I
now.
won't fight against you.
I've never been in the lead in a game ever.
All right. Hey, this isn't marriage counseling. We're playing this game. I couldn't even say that without laughing. That was terrible. God, are we ready?
That was good. But playing the game in that way of re-rolling and stuff like that works. It brings everybody else down to to your level, so they're spending their money in other ways.
Yeah.
I couldn't diversify. Once you guys started building up the strip area here and building yourselves up, that blocked me out of there. It pretty much blocked me out of there when I got that spot. The golds were already gone.
Yeah.
I mean, so it was a struggle for me from the beginning. I'm glad that I got myself back up.
You were
into
close. Yeah.
Contention.
yeah, like 1 or 2 more rounds, getting 7 points.
Yeah.
You'd have been right there, you know.
Yeah.
I think there's oh, go ahead. What were
I was
you
gonna say, I think this game more than a lot of others, it feels like you can declare a winner and go, oh, this person, or oh, that person's not going to, but it shifts really, really swiftly. It can shift in one turn.
Yeah.
And it shifts completely in one turn.
Yep.
That's always been one of my favorite things about this game.
Yeah.
I've had this for years, and it was one of the first games I ever bought, and I started buying board games. But this one was so fun, and I think it was a description. It was like, I think somebody at a game store told me their kid loved it because their kid could just play their whole game fast and loose, and he doesn't really know strategy really well, but once in a while, he would just go for it and just reorganize a huge casino, and it would just change the fate of the game, and it was epic. And you tell a story about it, and that's what's so fun about this game is there's obviously a ton of luck involved, from the card draws to the reorganizes, but even when you're losing in this game, you can still have a ton of fun.
Yeah.
You can be in dead last. Isaac, you were at 8 points at one point, and we were up here.
Up at 29.
And you still ended up there because you changed your fate from dice rolls. That's so
I
great.
think I have the most tabs on the board.
Yeah, you got a ton of lots.
I played at the beginning of the game, and I've never actually I don't sprawl. That's not like that's not something I do. With sprawling is basically buying an area that you don't have rights to.
Yeah, nobody does,
So you pay double. I decided to do that early because I noticed a lot of you had some strip area that was like some really nice real estate. So I knew I had to be putting myself into point contention early to be able to make up for my horrible real estate.
And it also gives you money to sprawl too.
Right,
Because you need that
exactly.
you get that extra income from those dice.
So by the end of the game, I didn't own any of the spots that I sprawled to,
Yeah.
but I still got those points early.
Yeah, you sprawled all 3 of those.
Yeah.
And they've
Yeah.
now been taken over. You still own it, which is
Yeah,
cool. But
and because I had that 4, I only bought places that were lower than my 4. So
Smart.
Yeah, and one of the best aspects of this game, I think, is the trading. I mean, I like gambling at other people's casinos. That's a ton of fun. And then the trading aspect, where you can
Trade
just
whatever.
you can trade whatever. There's no restrictions on deals. You can
And
basically you can say, hey, I'd like you to. Can you remodel that casino on your turn and change it to a color so it opens it up for me on my turn, or just flat out giving me money to make sure I became the boss
Yeah.
of this casino to slow down Michelle.
my enemy is my friend, right?
How much do I need to do that actually? Because
You need 35.
I've got 25, 29, and 30. I got to bet 6 at somebody's casino.
Or I could give you 6.
You want to just give me 6?
Okay.
Kinda. Just slow Michelle down a little bit. I mean, that's a great deal for me.
Oh, man.
Jeremy, what do you want?
Trying to look. What do you have for lots? Buy 6 for a lot.
I'll just buy this one. I'll sell you that one if you want it. Sure. Thanks. 35. I have exactly 35. I like where your head's at, Jerome.
I do too.
I'm going to spend it. I'm going to double raise this, and then I'm going to
Purple?
purple it up.
Alright.
Bam! Oh, I feel pretty good about that.
How'd that work out for you?
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
we tied.
got you tied.
We tied.
You wouldn't have had that without.
Country
No, not
music
at all.
loving lady.
Yeah, that worked out. And trading lots. We traded lots, I think. Yeah,
I
gave you
bought
one
this
lot.
random lot, which, I mean, I held on to that for a while, so every turn I was getting another $1,
Yeah.
which helped the income.
We should also mention what we're doing here. We're playing with Up, as I mentioned during the introduction. Up is kind of a cool expansion. I mean, it fits really well with this game.
I like it.
The game is out for a long time. It was out for like 4 years before the expansion came out, but it adds almost no complication to the game. It makes things, I think, just better. It's just you have more options.
Gives you different strategies.
Yeah, and if anything, like that getting behind and getting punched thing is less likely in this, I think, because you can, even if you've got a wimpy little casino like my little one brown over here, I could build it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It keeps it's a more steady, less risky method. You don't get as much money because you get a point per level, but you don't double your money or anything.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we really played with Up, so I tried that a lot. I actually had 1, 2, 3 that were I just built up to 4.
yeah, it just changes the dynamic a little bit.
A little bit,
And I would play this game. It's another one of those games I would play it. I could play it both ways.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
be just as happy.
Yeah,
definitely.
it's a
Just
good expansion
Just
because of that.
changes the game dynamic just slightly.
I like this. I like this mechanic.
I think it's awesome. I think it just allows you to it gives you another little bonus, and it doesn't really make the game any more complex at all. I want to mention one of the finer points of this game that we didn't pick up until we had played it a few times. One of my favorite parts of the game is just the weird kind of like switcheroo stuff you can do with people. Where like Jeremy did it here, where he built these two as purple.
Green.
He built
Green.
Yeah, you built the first one as green where it was a 1 value.
Yeah.
And then you came in, spent the 1 to
Reroll.
reorganize the 1. It doesn't
Yeah.
cost you anything. Get a 6, and then ended up raising the value of this little thing in green, and then just remodeling it,
For
swapping
10
it
more.
over to gold, and now you're the boss of that. I think
Yeah.
that's such a cool way to just have the game change hands like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, super cool.
and Up just makes that same type of thing happen, where you can have this big casino up high, and now you have that same dynamic where you can just
It makes
hey. Yeah, overall, this is a great game. I love the casino theme and the whole like changing your fate. As stupid as it is, like that's Vegas, whatever. But it's cool. Like it just feels good to play like that and like bet everything. Like man, I really need 30,000. I'm gonna try it, and then you get it, and you're like, oh my god, it's so fun.
mean, how many times did these guys re-roll that space?
6.
At least like 3 each.
Yeah. Nice. Let's see this.
Uh,
Come on, let's make this an upset because
No
she's
whammy, no
way
whammy, no
in the
whammy.
lead right now. Please.
the fate of the game right here, folks. I know, seriously.
I want to see you do it again either way. That's a lot of lows for Michelle.
Oh!
That's 2 5s!
Oh,
Yes!
overtook.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Wow. All right.
So, what happened right there? Oh.
Wow.
That's an upset. And it also it took her money way down.
What do you want? You're gonna buy it from me?
I'm gonna re-roll all that again in one turn.
Are you done? What are you doing?
There's 20 in there. Paying for that.
Weird dice.
I'm
Come
gonna get boned.
Come on. Come on. Yes, 6.
Yes!
Yes, 6. Yes. 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 It's so
like
awesome.
slowly bringing the voice down.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, you're rolling again.
I have no other.
Sixes,
That's
please.
a viable thing to go for. That could totally crush us.
6s, please.
Do it.
Are you still rolling those?
Oh my
God! You have to re-roll. You have to re-roll them all.
You have to re-roll them all.
Just the ones that tie. Wow, what the crap? All of these.
So
You've got a
happy
pretty good
for like
chance.
1 second.
You've got a pretty good chance of
Did
beating
you at
him.
least catch my joy on
Hang on.
film?
Yeah, it's on.
I want to just double check that. All of the dice for the largest value must be immediately re-rolled. You have a pretty good chance of winning this, right?
No, but if it's anything but 6, Isaac has a 5.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Shut your mouth hole.
I want to see you. Actually,
Seriously, literally shut your mouth hole.
I'm ready. Come on, give it to me.
oh no! 2 more 6s.
She wins it back.
Oh, Michelle, you may have taken the game with that one. That
good.
was awesome.
20.
Oh my god, we're still gonna re-roll. This casino has been re-rolled like 11 times. What is technically a whammy in this case?
I win.
Oh, stolen it from Michelle.
Jesus. This is ridiculous.
I can't believe that that's happened 15 times.
Yep.
I mean, this game's a little bit different every time. It never quite plays the same. Obviously, the randomization's cool. I love the fact that the game over card is just above. You don't know. Like,
so nervous.
there's 10 to 12 cards you might not see in a game, so you never know. You're like, is there one more gold? Is there one more pay to strip? You never quite know. So
I mean, what happened last time we played? It was a tie, and the only reason that I think was it you that beat me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you beat me because you had more money, but it was on my turn. I spent all my money.
Oh yeah, it turned right after your turn. That was
So if I
funny.
literally did nothing, I would have won.
You could never know that.
Yeah, right.
You
Yeah.
can't know.
Most important thing to note on that regard is I might have mentioned earlier, but I love that this game has tons of luck involved. I mean, there's obviously strategy to it, but there's a ton of luck involved, but no one cares. Like, you don't get, like, other games that were just tons of dice rolling, you'd probably be like, just sucks. You get grumpy, but no one gets grumpy playing this game. It's awesome.
I got a little grumpy.
Yeah, well, this part, I got every right to be a little grumpy.
I was
After the
picking on
12th
you.
re-roll.
Yeah, I was picking on you. So
After the 12th re-roll, it gets a little frustrating.
it's a little frustrating. I did want to do a shout out. The last time we played was with Deanna, and she was losing by all of the
She had
points.
6 points.
She did.
She was, and here's the thing. She caught on so quickly to the strategy behind the
was
game,
just-
and here's why this game is awesome and a little frustrating. Is that you plan out your whole turn, and you like build up your little fortune, and you got everything in line, and then you have to win by a roll of the dice. That's the only way you win this game, is by the roll of the dice. So after the 4th time she lost on rerolls, I mean, her game was over. But it's so simple and easy to pick up this game that, I mean, she had fun, and she said at the end of it, like, we've played other games before. I didn't really like those games, but this game was awesome.
Yeah,
And
she was talking on the car about how she liked it more than, what was it, like Food Fight or whatever we were playing last week.
Yeah.
That's a silly game.
Silly
Like
games,
games.
and she
Well,
realized that you can like really get in depth and have fun with a strategy game that has enough luck into it that makes it explosive moments
Right.
that are awesome.
Jeremy's not always guaranteed to win.
See, that's why I always like a
Even
game.
dumbasses like Michelle can make a run for it every once in a while.
And me. You can see like the games where there are dice roll. The games I've won so far in the series have been like BioShock Infinite, which has a fair amount of dice rolling, and Chaos in the Old World. Did I win that?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and I won
dice
that.
rolling.
There's dice rolling in
the
that
combat,
too. Yeah, and the
yeah.
combat.
Oh yeah, and the games that I've run in the series are.
Yeah, well, let's get you in more. Jeez.
No, I'm good at rolling dice too, though.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's a skill I possess.
I think that's funny. Like that's such a good point that a lighter game like Food Fight or whatever, where there's a ton of luck involved and it's just like random cards, you never know what you're gonna run into. Like that could be frustrating for some, but like this, the theme just kind
It's a good
of sucks
balance
you in. You don't
of
care about
Yeah.
the luck, and the theme is perfect. For it.
You've
the theme
you
makes
added
the luck okay. I'm sorry.
No, go
Whoa,
ahead.
whoa.
Say it.
The theme makes the fact that it's a bit luck based okay.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't, that would be weird.
Yeah, it'd be a weird theme otherwise. If it was like a farming game or something, you'd be
Right.
like, why is there so much dice rolling? This game's
Right.
totally random. But it's like, what's a Vegas casino theme?
Yeah,
Come on, that's
makes total
awesome.
sense.
And all like the gambling and stuff works perfectly.
I also
too.
really like the poker chips.
I was gonna say,
Oh.
poker chips make this game.
Well, yeah,
A little bit.
It doesn't come with the game, but yeah. sorry, Mayfair Games, but yeah, the paper money wasn't really cutting it. We had to. I mean, if you can't get poker chips,
Yeah, don't play poker.
poker chips you can get anywhere for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them for not putting in a box. I mean,
Yeah.
you need a crap ton of poker chips to
Oh,
play
yeah.
this game.
It's really heavy too.
You know what it would cost? Yeah, my Lords of Vegas box is like 20 pounds. Like
Yeah.
I don't like that shipping that versus paper money. Totally
Yeah.
get it. Yeah.
This is a board game geek idea, though, right? You got it from out there.
I just realized that paper money isn't great, and I put
Well, I
poker
mean,
chips
it's a little
in.
messy.
Yeah, I'm sure most people are doing some kind
I
of
mean,
chips.
this is a simple and awesome
Yeah,
idea.
most people I've run into that have this game, they open their box and they also have poker chips in it. Like
Yeah.
most people I play
Yeah,
this
it fits
game
the
play
theme
poker
perfectly,
chips,
and
yeah.
it's a lot. You don't have to like worry about crinkling money and like ruining it and ripping
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So not a dig in the publisher. I totally get it. Furnish your own poker chips for this game. I understand.
But do furnish your own poker chips.
You got to get the poker chips. Seriously.
I
All
know.
right. Well, I think that wraps it up. Thanks everybody. That was fun.
It's fun.
You almost won.
All I had to do was pit them against each other, and it works.
It works great. You've already figured me
60%
out.
of the
there,
time
yeah.
works every
It
time.
doesn't take a lot of pushing to get me really
stick them
competitive.
both on her. Well, she took the lead early, so
I was gonna say she was up by like
She took the lead early, and then Jeremy is really good at deflecting. Jeremy is
Maybe.
so he's good at defense, but he's also amazing at deflecting the fact that he's gonna win.
Yeah, we all know that at this point.
I know,
you seem to forget. Though.
but yet you all fall for it every time.
Yeah.
Are you so mad that you're talking about yourself in third person?
I'm not mad.
You to us.
She's
Cool.
gonna see you later.
All right. Well, thank you guys again so much for watching. We'll catch you again next time. Bye bye. I said bye bye.
Bye bye.
And this is a 1. So
Can't
I'll spend
go any
another
lower, at
1,
least.
and I'll reroll this one as well. Oh my goodness!
All right.
No way that'll happen.
Heck with that. We're gonna record now.
Come on.
Yeah, because that's gonna happen again. We can't miss it.